You learn early that the easiest way to survive is to say the magic word, "I'm fine." You say it so often that it stops being a sentence and becomes a powerful shield, a reflex, a mask, a way of making sure nobody looks too closely at the places where you're tired, overwhelmed, disappointed, or quietly breaking. And over time, you become frighteningly good at it. You smile with your mouth while your chest feels hollow. You crack jokes while your thoughts feel heavy. You show up to help everyone else while your own internal world feels like a locked room you never enter. You move through life with a steady, practiced calm, controlled, composed, while something inside you whispers that you're carrying more than anyone realizes. People see you functioning, so they assume you're okay. They take your stability at face value, never suspecting the emotional acrobatics happening behind the scenes. And eventually, you begin to believe the same lie you tell them, that your pain doesn't matter as long as you're managing it. This is the paradox of people who pretend they're fine. The very coping strategy that once protected you, staying quiet, staying strong, staying unproblematic, slowly becomes the thing that isolates you, exhausts you, and convinces you you're not allowed to fall apart. The truth is that pretending you're fine is not a personality trait. It's a psychological adaptation. It's what happens when you grow up in environments where your emotions felt too heavy for others, or where the people around you didn't know how to hold them. You learned emotional minimalism because expressing your feelings didn't lead to comfort. It led to tension, confusion, or dismissal. To survive, your brain developed a pattern called emotional suppression, an automatic shrinking of your inner world to keep the peace around you. Over time, suppression becomes linked to another mechanism, hypervigilance. You monitor everyone's mood, anticipate everyone's needs, and adjust yourself accordingly. Not because you want to, but because you feel like you have to. The nervous system becomes wired in scan and adapt mode. You become a master at reading the room, identifying danger, predicting conflict. Meanwhile, your own needs stay buried under the surface. Sociologists call this self-silencing, the internal rule that says your emotions are a burden, do not expose them. Neuroscience shows that chronic self-silencing activates the brain's default mode network in a way that reinforces self-blame and rumination. In other words, the more you keep things in, the more your own mind turns against you. The mask protects you socially, but slowly harms you internally. And the cost of this adaptation is enormous. When you hide your pain long enough, you begin to grieve parts of yourself without realizing it. The playful version of you, the spontaneous version of you, the version that used to ask for help. You start treating vulnerability like a luxury you can't afford. There's a line from Carl Jung that says, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." For people who pretend they're fine, this is doubly true. Accepting yourself means confronting the years of quiet suffering you kept tucked under your ribs. It means admitting you were overwhelmed long before you ever had the language for it. And most of all, it means acknowledging how deeply you wanted someone to notice without you having to say a word. There is invisible grief in being the strong one. You sacrifice authenticity for stability, connection for silence, and your true feelings for the illusion that you're difficult to break. You live with a constant fear, the fear that if you actually told someone how much you're carrying, they'd either walk away or look at you differently. You fear the loss of control, the loss of composure. You fear the vulnerability of being held. And so even when you desperately want relief, you tighten the mask instead. But this hidden pain does not stay hidden forever. It leaks into adulthood in ways that feel subtle until you start noticing the pattern. You become someone who apologizes before expressing a need, someone who struggles to accept help because you're used to being the helper. You might avoid deep conversations because they feel like an emotional trapdoor. You might feel uncomfortable when someone asks, "Are you sure you're okay?" because it threatens the entire identity you've built. You might find that you overfunction in relationships, always doing more, giving more, supporting more, because you equate your value with usefulness. You might sabotage intimacy by staying distant, or choose partners who never ask how you're feeling because their emotional unavailability matches your own. In your career, you become the reliable one, the dependable one, the person who never says no even when you're exhausted, because boundaries feel like danger, not protection. You might stay busy constantly, terrified of what you'll feel if you ever slow down. You tell yourself you're independent, but the truth is, you're just afraid of being someone else's responsibility. These are coping strategies, not personality traits. They develop when a person spends years believing that their pain is inconvenient. Healing begins the moment you stop gaslighting yourself. When you stop saying it's not that bad and begin acknowledging honestly what it felt like to carry everything alone. Healing is not a performance. It's not about becoming soft all of a sudden or opening your heart overnight. It's about unlearning the belief that your emotions are too much. It's about creating small pockets of safety within yourself. Sometimes healing starts with something as simple as letting yourself feel tired without turning that into a failure. Sometimes it begins with telling one honest truth to someone you trust. Sometimes it begins with admitting that you want to be understood. Inner child reparenting helps rebuild the parts you silenced. Shadow work helps reveal the emotions you avoid. Nervous system regulation teaches your body that it is safe to exhale, safe to soften, safe to not be the strong one every hour of the day. The goal isn't to stop being resilient. The goal is to stop calling emotional exhaustion resilience. As the philosopher Rilke once wrote, "Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final." You are allowed to be a full human being, not a curated fragment. You are allowed to need rest, support, softness, care. You are allowed to name your pain without apologizing for it. And here is the truth you were never told. The moment you stop pretending you're fine, the world doesn't fall apart. You don't collapse. You don't break. You breathe. You make room for parts of yourself you exiled. You create the possibility of connection, not just contact. You learn that being human is not a weakness. It is the beginning of wholeness. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who carries their pain quietly. More people than you realize are wearing the same mask you are. And if you want more content like this, content that meets you where you actually are, consider subscribing. Not because you need fixing, but because you deserve to become whole again.